Looks like we got the boot again. With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the two kidnappers? Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy. Tell me it's true. Tell me you've really found my boy. Yes, Mr. Romano. We found him earlier in the stadium.
Then, Mother Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang.
Lord Lance, it must have been so horrible for him. Out up like a...
Just run away from them. Miles, boy, I can't thank you enough. It was nothing. I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver, but I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as as soon as the police are finished with him. A letter. Oh, the way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received just another love letter, you know. Here, take a look for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple love letter. Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company, 10 November. That's more like a collection bill to me.
He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, there's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose if they were me, then...
I believe you said that you were Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am. But, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did get his ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because this just ain't... This just ain't...
What? I can't read, I'm so sorry.
I mean, because this just isn't...
Oh my god. This isn't even a hard line.
I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
My father used to work for Mr. Romano, and so Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud.
I don't see how there's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Romano group. What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus.
Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in the Pegasus off somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown sounds like the stuff legends are made of.
It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again.
I'm so sorry, Lauren.
And I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live.
About this incident.
Incident? Isn't the kidnapping already over and done with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition.
You base everything on that?
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange, and it really must be destiny.
Ugh.
She started fantasizing again. So what are you going to do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
We already established that there is a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. What is the isolation room? The hideout? The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout.
We're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there is no harm in asking our officer over there to let us in. I guess I got it right. Let me in now. What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside? Sir, Roger, sir. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in? Edgeworth, just take what you can get. That's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, sounds like Detective Gumshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir. What is this? The man in this picture, isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon?
But the name here says Colin Devereaux.
It's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Devereaux was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in the case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? And what was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon.
Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and his current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to go through them a thorough read eventually. It's fine, let's focus on one thing. Ow, I keep biting my tongue. Starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try to remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break down the door, sir. I see. I guess that means I got Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we can find. So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
Why are you tied up for a while in the room next door?
Okay, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. He's still talking and waggling his finger. Right, let me see that document real quick. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pen E. Dent prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Okay. Viola. Where do I even begin? Jesus. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Oh, there's a lot of suspicious looking nook and crannies.
Looks like a sword. A broken sword.
Strange, why would it be broken like that? Swords don't usually break on their own. Most things don't break on their own.
That's true.
Alright then, let's think about this in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later.
That doorknob handle thingy's looking pretty beat up.
I suppose that's what's happened when 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
Hey, that's odd. The lock on this door is completely fine. Look, not a single dent.
How is that possible after what the officer told us?
Yeah, if the lock had been used when...
What?
Had been in use when the door was battened down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked.
So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? I know that head the entrance to the underground is propped up and wide open. Be careful of where you step, Kay.
I only fell into the other opening once, you know.
Once is more than enough.
Oh, they have barrels just like the outside.
Yes, and?
Well, I know I already asked you when you were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them?
There's an expectant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. This must be where they dispose of old and worn-out costumes.
That's so sad.
It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. The motorists and I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. I'm getting really sick of saying that. I wonder what this key is to.
You can't me.
Reminds me of the key we found in the other room.
That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors.
Voice smells wet. Sorry. Sorry about that. That wasn't a trapdoor. You can only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it.
Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one?
I'm not having this conversation with you. Cups? Cheap styrofoam cups.
Looks like these only 3 cups were used.
Anything else? Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers.
There are 3 chairs set around the table.
3 cups and 3 chairs, how suspicious. The common denominator between the cups and folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3.
Wait, I thought there were only 2 kidnappers.
Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone could see that it was not in use at the time.
But the policeman now said it took 10 men to get it open.
A door that was locked tight despite it not being locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed?
So that's how the sword broke.
I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers. Instead, we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. What is it? Well, I don't know who this is, so I don't know what voice to do. I'll just do a creepy voice.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct?
What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that?
This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you just get out of there first and then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss.
Pull his head off.
Where'd a badger get? Alright, only one more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
You forget? The photo rally, duh. See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the bad badger and I'm done.
Ah, yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. He's creepy as hell. Oh, bye then.
What? It's gone, but where did it go?
What happened? What's wrong?
The bad badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about how they were stolen. They said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken.
What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me more about these costumes you use. Who is this person? What do you mean by a bad badger costume is missing?
Why, just what I said, sir. We are 1 bad badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each per costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park...
The other should be in that room.
Actually, both of them should be in that room.
Huh?
What do you mean? Normally we don't use the bad badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's the stage show where the bad badger wreaks havoc around the park. And the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir.
Speechless that such a show exists.
Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you that the only time we use the costume. then it doesn't make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger. Percy, I can't believe that it's this close to the show time and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir?
All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total.
Are you saying there are 4 kidnappers?
No, I don't think that's very likely.
Oh?
We called costumes for it.
The stolen ones, you mean?
What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist? What? I have no idea. This?
Take that!
If you had 4 people and you had wanted to steal the 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set instead of pink badger costume instead? I mean, not really. It doesn't have to, right? I mean, I don't see the point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet, the kidnappers decided to steal another bad badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 bad badger costumes, but the question is why? Oh, I suppose. I don't know. Weird. Second bad badger costume. I believe it may be closer at hand than we think.
What do you mean?
A costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that is wearing some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get it out there and take a look.
As I suspected, it's a bad badger costume.
Well, minus the head.
We're pressing to have inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Jeez. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency.
Between what?
Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be.
Oh, the gun.
Precisely. The bad badger was designed to always hold a gun in its right hand. However, you there! Did you remove the gun from this bad badger's right hand?
No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume.
As I thought, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct?
Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun.
However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems that our kidnappers also have a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. I think we're about done with this room.
So what's next?
Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things that we have left to ask a certain person. Let's go, Kay.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Gotta hurry, sir, come on.
What is it, detective?
They found a blue badger costume in front of the main gate, sir.
What?
Isn't it the one of the kidnappers was wearing?
Bingo, that's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolfboy does.
Alright, let's make haste for the main gate. To be continued. That was only 18 minutes long. So we're going to continue. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe?
Just the other side of the fountain, sir.
Edgeworth, open your eyes, even I can see it.
What is that? What was it?
Oh my god, I can't read.
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was
discovered in the tall grass there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly.
Then let's get down to it. No interest until I've inspected every suspicious looking cranny. What do we have here?
Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too.
Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two...
Hold it right there!
Oh, here comes Wolfboy.
Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor.
You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? Ugh. Arrogant. Isn't it, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. What can you tell? Look here, read off what you see.
Lauren, hey, it's the name that's engraved on this. I...
Ha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand.
Lolly, I can't believe you're one of my kidnappers.
Lance. You're kidding. Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers. Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean a special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who you calling a sham? The officer's gun did show signs of being fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. The Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, let's see. That's where a brand new suspect comes walking along and onto the crime scene. The murder already happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it.
Thanks for the confession. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got this culprit own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops.
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and a killer. Isn't that enough?
It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that's the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Bender would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
There, are you satisfied? She just confessed her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit that what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Pauls, is what you really said? Is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth, because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession.
Hold it!
It is. Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he has planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Potts from the very beginning. Is that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over...
Was it money? I don't know what she said. Miss Potts, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Potts. Miss Potts, you don't know, do you? But this piece of evidence, it's the wrong one.
Looking at it, I still don't feel anything within me at all. But now I really feel like I don't know anything.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are you sure that you're not the one who don't... You're the one who doesn't know anything, is it you? Ugh, I guess this wasn't it. I meant to... I know what the answer is, I just guess that's wrong.
You don't understand.
What's that you understand? What's wrong, Kay?
I can't believe she was betrayed. I kind of feel sorry for her.
I feel sorry for her too. However, I also wish she would tell us the truth. Because there's something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. Yeah, I know.
Hold it!
Yeah.
Hold it!
Oops, I don't know why I'm skipping that dialogue, sorry.
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about that pendant? This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color and this even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Hey?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow. It's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
What? No, that can't be.
So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias to this man. His real name is Colin Devereux, named at his edge on the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Devereux's dossier. What I really want to point out is this. The specific section is what reveals the true meaning. His daughter.
Take that!
Mr. Devereux had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Porks.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. You still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in the kidnapping plot? What is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is too much innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of Amena. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Would you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? Then who killed him? So this is the version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right?
You mean he knowingly committed the kidnapping of his father and daughter?
That's right. There's one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Let's take a long, hard look at the evidence then. Wow.
Objection!
Sorry, I had to look it up, which is really embarrassing, but I couldn't figure it out, and it turns out my line of thinking was right, I just wasn't presenting the right evidence on the right statement, which is annoying. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just two people alone. What kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were three kidnappers. That's what I was saying the whole time. Three? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. As for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. This all clearly points to a 3-man group. I believe this third person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping.
Take that!
Lance and Mino? Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers?
No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman.
However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said.
But I know I only saw 2 people.
This guy is being held hostage. It's possible we couldn't see all 3 of them. Oh yes, about when you were being held, I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I had rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Through the underground passageway, I presume. Are you okay?
Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
No, not quite yet.
How can you not? Why'd you look at me with the icy daggers in your eyes?
Because he's a prosecutor, because they're all like that. Have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecution's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little.
Hold it!
How did you escape? How did you manage to escape?
I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape.
I remember our escape being equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I must let it go unexamined.
The door leading outside the passageway was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway.
Objection!
It was locked from the inside. You say the door leading outside was locked, but was it really? We're talking about that room behind us and in front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Then take a look at this. What is that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by the sword which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cut together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape?
Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it, I didn't notice it.
As if I should accept such a bald-faced lie. Bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own.
Not so fast!
You've been making this guy out to be the one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. What would that be? Motive. What else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch a completely pointless scheme just as a kidnapper, such as kidnapping himself?
Objection!
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit the crime. His little love letter.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter, it's in fact the collections bill. It appears our outstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Ugh.
Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, huh?
Ugh. Alright, I give up. I abducted myself.
Lance!
It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million, but now that dream is over.
Oh, Lance.
Then you're giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to pin him and keep him under control. We left him out inside that room and Lolly inside, and I made her escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. That would mean the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Corpse. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. He contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. Then they had no idea they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly.
I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father.
Lolly, then it really was you.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling a suitcase with $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you.
So Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was.
If what she says is true.
Are you saying she's lying? Well, why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
You would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me?
You really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself. It's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Porps, please calm down and take a deep breath. Then would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time?
Yes, of course. That badger pointed a gun in his left hand and aimed to shoot me dead.
He's not even left-handed.
Objection!
I have here a dossier on your father. According to this, your father was right-handed. The person pointing the gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Beacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun was with his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Porter was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough of the smugness. Out of it already. Miss Porter told us earlier.
There was a bad badger pulling a suitcase with $1 million in it.
According to you, the bad badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Corpse?
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the bad badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face.
If that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Corpse claims to have seen the bad badger, yet the bad badger has both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. They are both correct. Impossible, that just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Corpse's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses in bit. What if that bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands.
Take that!
The costume has two parts, the head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head that Miss Corpse saw was probably really the head of the bad badger. However, is it not possible the body was that of an entirely different badger? Different badger? Yes, so to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. Also in this one.
Take that!
What the heck is it?
It's the proto-badger.
Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. This Corpse was wearing the blue badger costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of the wrong colours, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto-badger costume. Miss Corpse, who was the one who wore the proto-badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Not so fast!
Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance and men are donned the bad badger head and pretending to be Miss Deacon. On top of which, he plotted to shoot Miss Corpse while wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup, and its purpose was to lead Miss Corpse into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Corpse and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have done all that, huh? There is but one reason, Lance and Mona. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Oliver Deacon. What?
No.
That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. But what does this have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Corpse, her attacker held a gun in his
Not so
left
fast!
Who is what-handed doesn't prove anything. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto-badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Action!
Of course, logically if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. It should all be evidence you need. Be all the evidence you need. He gave her a fake gun.
Take that!
He found one half of the bad badger costume in the hideout at Broken One. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Corpse, where is that gun you use now?
I threw it away in the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I'm right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha! I knew you were full of it! However, I do know that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please wait a second, it's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in a state of being restrained.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon's security to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So, Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left and right.
We thought that it would attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up after again at the stage in the stadium. But then as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole a gun from me at that time. Did I just skip a line? And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up on the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Potts saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? Sorry, my mind just went blank. There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine this in more detail.
Hold it!
You're sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said it would be best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked for the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger head on, so I'm absolutely sure. It just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a bad badger head.
The captive had a bad badger head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
So, the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his badger costume.
Yes, and?
It appeared actually misread the whole situation. What now? Shall I raise an objection? Probably. The person you saw was not the victim.
What?
Oh.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not, with this. This, Miss Forbes, shows us the person you saw was not the victim.
Take that!
Miss Forbes, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you saw was actually this person. It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnapper abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Potts in person, naming me with a bad badger head on. And then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the pop sword, he then escaped via the passageway.
Not so fast!
Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot coming at you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. Victim's betrayal needs subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Potts would have still seen me tied to that thing.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
See, it would have seen us. You can't move a thing. Ugh. Who said that? Wait, who said what? I didn't see. Hold it! Please wait. Mr. Romano. Oh, Miles, my boy, it looks like you've really given it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad? Let's see, you're the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Is that what I think it is?
It's the badger costume the victim was wearing and a gun.
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the scene. Ah, is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There. No. Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Romano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh, there, now. There is no need to be so upset. Heh, I'm not a cab from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. No. It wasn't meant to strong arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. Can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensic research lab that I'm on good terms with conducting tests. They verified that the blood on the costume belonged to Oliver, as to the guy. The only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence. Ha! I'll be the judge of that. I'm interested to have inspected every suspicious looking technology. What is that? What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head.
Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of mirror. Why are they in here? This can't be an actual murder weapon. This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around.
It looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, those burn marks were left by gunpowder. This is the most important fact.
Why is that?
Because it proves that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. No, we're not convincing me of nothing. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderer's gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even if you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
Oh no, this isn't helpful at all.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You ruined me. Why won't you believe me even in the face of all this evidence? Because it's a load of shit.
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Forbes? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensic techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah. Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Forbes' prints could be on the gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Forbes' prints should not be on the gun is she was wearing costume.
Take that!
It's simply not possible for Miss Porps to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Porps was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Porps, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Porps' print found their way onto the gun. Ugh. You understand now, Mr. Amino. The fingerprints do not prove that Miss Porps is the murderer. But you don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance.
What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her. That doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story about that Miss Porps killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
Take that!
Let's just take a good look at the costume he was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. It's the part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
Burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
So then you mean the murder Miss Oldback saw at the stadium really was...
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. The victim was indeed shot from below the stage. There shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ugh. Hey, look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all of the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were just before I was in prison was... I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes. I have proof that it's highly likely that the victim was killed here. What proves that the real scene of the crime was a haunted house? Glass.
Take that!
Mirror. Even inside the costume the victim was wearing, there are mirror fragments of the mirror. A mirror? What does it have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find a piece of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, they're actually pretty dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance and Maynard, I propose that you kill Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badger mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Romano, but I can't do that. Cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Only some man are correct. I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in a kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible for the fragments got into the costume there? To Agent Lang, there was no fragments on the floor, so probability is very low. Probability. Lang Z says, on truth path. On truth path. Oh my god, I can't read. The word probability. Oh my god, I can't read. Langzy says, on Truth's path, the word probability does not exist. I still kind of fucked that up. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need? I can't read anymore. Oh my god.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up! I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. This case is so confusing. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I have to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed a haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing. Got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth is brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or what, how it's done, as long as it is. Tuh. Sheena! I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. But don't get the Game Water Group's approval. Who was that? No. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Romano. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena!
It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed. Read it out loud.
Gatorwater Land Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Romano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash.
What? As you can see, I'm now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you?
I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made them deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid, don't tell me it was. Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. Used ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologised for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you'd please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Miss Romano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Ugh, Mr. Romano definitely has a deck stacked in his favour here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued. Thank God for my voice. Oh my god. I'm losing my voice. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Wait, let me see. Okay, see you guys. Bye.